So today we are gonna implement listening mode. Well, what exactly it is? It's kind of like a gameplay mechanic in specific from like combat. Well, when you in some place, then you try to find the enemy. You press listen in, and basically you highlight the nearby enemy. If you can see it, yeah, from the screen you can see if I I stand behind this cylinder, I press listen in, my screen will become like gray, and then I can highlight the enemy, so I will notice the enemy location. So then I can like to have more using more strategy. It's kind of a little bit like the Last of basically as based on that to create this uh, uh, combat mechanic with this listening mode. So today I'm gonna making this. First of all, you're gonna need like highlight material. In this case, I using some asset, which is this one from Udemy course. Then I will leave the link below in the comment if you can see. But it seems I had some trouble when I put it in the YouTube. It seems I didn't have some kind of identification, so I cannot put the website link in the comment, so it probably there's issues. But I gonna using this one. Well, basically is it changes the highlight depth. Well, you can change it to like Y or other thing else. Yeah, so I'm gonna merge to the my Unreal other project, which is the Flash one. Create. So back to Rider, let's create this one. Well, this inside I need to load. Still no loading finish. Let's wait a little bit. Well, basically it's gonna need some variable from this listening mode component. Well, you tell me why I create all the component, because I want to separate the project, make it more clean, and so can to more for you guys to integrate. But in a real project, you probably not gonna create every single star in a component, in an actor component. But in this purpose, I just gonna show this how to create this. So I'm not gonna bother them. So anyway, I think I can create it. So choose actor component, put it in the component folder, and let's name it listen in mode component. As usual, I clean some unused comment, and let's just directly create it. So what you need to from the listening mode, you're gonna need a boolean variable from B is listening, if for sure. Let's get a default value to false, and get your property that visible anyway, and get a category, maybe listening mode. Yeah, and if you slide, so you can using a for to make a listen in media, represent how far you can listen in to the enemy nearby. You cannot have infinitely listening near the every level in the game, so probably not a bad idea. So we are also gonna need a material insert. I think it's interface to using high outline. Let's call it outline material. Basically, is this the material to let you enemy being highlight. Let's get it at the anywhere. And then maybe we can using a timer to like handle the fade out or fade in or start to listening. Let's create maybe later. Let's create the power function. Maybe we just put this inside in this one, and then delete this public. So what we're gonna need, first of all, we're gonna need activate listening mode for sure. We are also not like deactivate it. We get a new function. Maybe we can like blueprint callable. We can just call in the blueprint when you pass some key in the event graph. You more benefit not mess it up with the character cards. And because I want to more separate to other lesson, so I think it's a better way just not using in-hand input system for my convenience or for you, both of them. And also probably we're gonna need some function, for instance, in the public protective session, like perform listening scan. We need to scan all the component or the object, or maybe it's actor in the scene, then determine is the character or not. We want to highlight or not. We don't want to highlight anything. So by the way, we can like highlight enemy. We get actor. Let's call it enemy. We also can make a function called clean highlight. Well, we probably also need a special variable. It's not really common to see. It's called a processing volume. Why I need that? Because I want to change the screen to fade to gray out, and I want have different color when I'm in the listening mode. So I need using this post processing volume to help me to handle that. And let's just create those functions. Since I had a little bit typo, the writer have been warning me, then since I think let's make it correct. You need to call activate activate. Deactivate. We add another n in it, so we're gonna change it in the CPP file also. So let's clean this unused command, and then we also generate those definition, and let's implement the code. Well, I think I probably don't need a tip function, so I just delete it and delete this one and set b can ever t to false. And in the begin page, I want to initialize the process volume. Well, in general, in Unreal Engine, you probably just need one process volume and the default one. When each time you create a default scene, they already create this for you. If you not create like a manifold like empty, completely empty, they will include this process volume. You can get it by you gameplay static and get actor of car. And this was really an easy way to get a car outside of the cars. get a processing volume static class. Yeah, so we got this processing volume, and the only one is it in the game world. So you probably will more likely implement the highlight, the activate listening mode, deactivate listening mode. So what can do? If we is in the listening mode or the listening processing volume isn't busy, we can just simply turn it and we set the bit listening is true. Yeah. And then we need to change in the screen. I want to change it to like gray out. So when I in the listening mode, you need to change the processing volume. So how to change that? I find some not really common to see, but using post-processing setting and maybe current post-process setting equal to listening mode, listening post-process volume setting. Yeah, why I do that? Because I only want to change it few of them. For example, like color saturation, other thing. Then I didn't want to change it all, because if I gonna change it all, then somehow they just didn't right when they had some default value. You just create a setting, then you didn't fill in exactly like the original one, they will feel really weird, then we'll see in the screen. So we can just change it, this setting, like be override. There are several of settings, so many settings, but I only want to change it like the color saturation to true, and then we can change it color saturation equal f vector 1 to 4. Saturation will make it 2.2, 2.f, 2.f, 1.f. Yeah, this will make the color too much gray out kind of. So, and also like other setting like be overriding like color true, and also here value I think 1.2 after attaching a field value is kind of feel gray. And then also we want to change it the screen color thing. F linear color. Let's get A5 and A5 and A5 and 1. That's good. And then we can outline color with highlight the enemy. If it been setting, let's set it vision variant setting the way, I think it's called way, then the array the f and f way, then above 1.f and outline material. After doing that, we gonna let the change it back like to the listening setting to equal to current. And then also listening volume to bandwidth equal 1 is enabled by default as enable it, and get set a timer to scan the screen. I don't want to change it like immediately, so let's maybe using a timer and to perform this listening, like to find out the actor, find out the other thing we want to, for example, gray out sound some object and as a obstacle to block our view, then we can see through them. And the timer manager and set timer. Let's create a timer variable. We can put in down below our line material. Let's just call F1 timer handle. Listening handle. Let's put it, and the second parameter we can put this, and the third we can using this class and perform listening scan and get a value. We don't want to routing, and if we deactivate it, we have some similar. If we are in the listening mode, we are in the listening mode. The listening is true. We want to return. We want listening is true, and the opposite of the true, I see. And also we need a listening processing volume, and set listen into form, and listening process volume and bandwidth equals 0.0. Disable it and get wall, and let's get the timer manager and clean the timer and listening handle and clean highlight. Well, let's do this one. We want to perform listening scan to scan object, and we want to be, for example, like highlight those. We can using a T array actor. We can scan the actor, like for example, let's call it from actors. We're using your gameplay static to get all actor of card, get wall, and actor static from actor, and put all the inside it. It's probably not a great idea to each time to scan all the actor nearby, but from this purpose, for more benefits, you certainly they have some. You can automate it. If my actor is find the enemy, find actor, get owner. We want the owner is the character, our control character. We simply turn it, continue. And let's create a variable for this one. If only in the video, then we inside the video we want to highlight those enemies. So this one, get owner location, actor location, and if the distance is less than listening video, we can set it. We can highlight the enemy passing actor. In the highlight enemy, we want to get the enemy mesh, and then set the processing volume, because in that kind of highlight material, I have some special value to set the highlight value. Then you are setting the custom depth on the character, and get you mesh component enemy, and get components you mesh component passing mesh. So inside this mesh, we got the we can use auto, convenient mesh. Well, somehow the rider view remind me how this, but this one it didn't do so. If mesh, let's just check it for MS set render custom deck to true and mesh set custom deck stereo value to 251. Is this the value? Well, if we want to clean the highlight, we have some similar step we want to take. We want to find the end, so you're gonna, I think it probably is more a good idea because there are several things you need to take. First of all, you need to find the order filter which we need this function perform scan, and then we want to find, then we got like the similar to those code. I see. Let's just write in anyway. For actor from actor theory mesh those one inside the enemy. I'm gonna put actor and also sensing. You can also refactor a little bit if you like. Mesh set render custom deck to 4. So basically, implement the highlight the enemy. Let's just compile. Well, there's also has several steps we need to take in order to hide using custom deck in Unreal Engine in the post-processing volume. We need to go into the project setting. Let's just first of all compile the project and then see it. Compile the project. Let's create this. I want to put in the 3-person mesh, so let's just duplicate it. Let's name it listening mode. Let's get into it. First of all, we need to go to the project setting in the render with I think it's in the custom deck. Custom deck serial path. You need to set enable with serials, and that's it. And then also you want to go to the post-processing volume and set it custom deck. No, don't need to. I think I already set in the set in the C++. No, yeah. Let's just create this component. Listening mode, and then we just need to put the outline material, which in my asset folder in material they got like PP highlight. You can put it in this one. You can see basically it's just using like post-processing and then create this kind of material to evaluate which value it is and highlight the character. And then we also, I think it's good. Then we need to call this function. I just simple using this one. The last few video we've been create. So but we using one key. Listen in mode, I think activate. Listen mode. When the one key is pressed, we want to call it deactivate. Let's see how it goes. Plus 1. Yeah, it can like gray out the whole scene, but it didn't highlight the character. Which really weird. This one stand out in the face scene. Kind of weird. Let's just delete it. And then I think the problem is this. Let me find out. We also need to go to the post % volume, and in the material we need to add it, choose and put it this. I see. Let's pause again and see it. Nope. Seems very weird. It didn't highlight the character. Let me see what's going on. So after I take a few minutes to check out, it is in my highlight perform scan. You need to scan the character, not an actor, because we only want to highlight the character class, and also in the clean highlight also the character. So that's total fix with the issue. When we try to listen, you highlight and let the screen gray out and desaturate the color, and if we out of range, we highlight, we cannot highlight again. Okay, and now we can highlight. Now we are moving on to another more a little bit high level topic. It is want to fade out the, for example, this cylinder, this pen, we want to fade out when we listen in. So even we are in a wall, for example, we can still see the enemy. So to recognize the enemy where direction it is. So how to implement those? Well, I can create a actor, a fade actor, or an interface, and I think that's the way to create. So let's create a class. Choose interface. Let's put it in the interfaces. Let's call it highlight or fade in. Fade interface. Then in not much, you only like to virtual void, like fade in, and fade out. Fade in, virtual void, fade out, and also create an actor. Let's just name it fade actor. Put in an actor class. We want to implement this interface. Get colon problems. Interface, and we want to implement those. Let's fade in, fade out. So in this fade actor, we want to like a mask. or a dynamic material, we can change it. And basically it's just like that. So we create some variable in the protected section. Use static mesh component. Let's call mesh component. Here you property. Get reachable anywhere and category. Fade. Also need a material instant to change it, dynamic change it instant fade parameter. So you probably use material instant. Use material instant dynamic mesh. Dynamic mesh dynamic material. We also want some value to from fade in to fade out. For example, like we can change it, add it anywhere. No, we don't want to add it. For current fade, also another value is target fade. Also a speed, we want to fade in and fade out. We want in the tip section, we want to interpolate it, so we get a default value. Here you probably add it anyway. The category fade. And I think that's probably there. Maybe we want to update this, give a person update fade. The delta one. Let's just clear. Let's make it. So in the constructor, we want to construct a mesh component, create default shot object. Check notice one, create default shot object. Use static mesh component, and set it the root component to mesh is okay. And current fade 1f target fade equal 1f. And in the begin page, we want to get the dynamic material. Then we want to fade in and fade out, so using and mesh get material 0 and dynamic material equal u material instant dynamic create a plus this one. We want to mesh get material and set material, also set that. Well, in the T function, we just simply call update and call passing by delta time. And the fade in, we simple just like target fade equal 0 f target fade equal 0. In the update, we want to check is dynamic material instant is not or not. If not, is it not, we simply return it. If not, we want to interpolate to the current fade and to the target fade. We will using fmat and using fmat is nearly equally Well, it's just a really simple way to check in two value is gain close to equal to be a small number. Current phase is met in turbulence. Current phase, target phase, and delta time, and also the speed we want to turbulent phase speed. I see. We can change it either in the blueprint if you like. Set the parameter. So set scan parameter by value and call it phase and current phase. Yeah, that will do the job. Then last thing you need to do is in the completion mode. We want to scan those kind of object in the world. Let's go call it phase actor. Just copy this line, single line of code. Inside a character, we get an actor. And then we also want to look through this. Phase actor. And simple, we can use in if actor. Implement U phase interface. If this, we can cast this actor. Typically when implement using U and class using I in Unreal actor, and then we want to call phase in when it is perform listening. We want to phase in. I think inside is phase in. Yeah. And then when we clean the highlight, we also want to do that similarly. So just copy this line of code and this one. We call it fade out. Yeah, that will do that. So let's just compile. I think I just code it in this one. So back to Unreal Engine. Let's open this listener map. Let's just create this phase actor. First of all, we're gonna need the phase material. How we do that? Very simple. We can just duplicate this one and call it phase. And inside this one, we go to this one and duplicate it. Also call it phase. And inside this one, we also go into this one material. Well, this is what we want. We want to change it to demo, to opaque, to mask, and also press S key down and let quit. Create a parameter. We call it phase. We need to have the exact name to your code to this parameter when I put it to set scan parameter value exactly in that. So if you didn't see any string effect, you need change it to phase. And we want to using let me see, it's called die rectangles and plug in the open mask. Well, when in the 1, 0 is like transparency, and by if you put in 1 is like opaque. You can, yeah, like this. From 0 to 1 you interpolate the value if you see through. Basically it's like that. And put it default 1. It's okay. Let's compile. Oh no, I didn't duplicate it, so by the way, never mind. I think I just duplicate it. Fade. And then change it back. Open, compile. And then which one? This one. Instead of material, this we choosing fade. Say it and back to change it. Also change it to fade. Well, we see we have a fade parameter. We can see through it. And then we just simple create a fade actor. We put in the third person open. Third person we create a and just put in the open. Never mind. Create a new folder called actor. Let's create a fade actor. Call it BP fade actor. And in the static mesh we want using balls. This one is good. And change the material to this have fade parameter material insert. And we can just compile and save it and bring it in our level. So if we scan it, oh, too big, just scan it and pull it back a little bit, maybe. Yeah, that will okay. We press and we press 1 key. You fade out this wall, we say so and see through the enemy, and so when we in the combat we will know the enemy position and got more good strategy to win the game, like so. And if then pass it fade out, and that's the whole courses it is. So in if you like, just subscribe me. There are no other things, so see you later if you want to watch stream.